She's ideologically driven, and they have blinders on, for sure. I don't think Sonny's dumb.
Elon Musk's recent $80 million lawsuit against Whoopi Goldberg and the hosts of The View.
I've been saying it for a while.
Yes, you have.
I've been saying that I think Elon Musk believes he's president.
Ethics, accountability, and the limits of free speech. Musk's legal action stems from incendiary remarks made by Goldberg during an episode of the show, where she and her co-hosts allegedly suggested that Musk, along with Senator J.D. Vance, was conspiring to manipulate government control in the event of Donald Trump's removal from office. While Goldberg later dismissed her comments as a lighthearted reference to her cat's antics, Musk's legal team is not convinced. Instead, they argue that the remarks were baseless, malicious, and damaging to Musk's reputation, an assertion that has ignited a cultural firestorm. At the heart of the controversy is the delicate balance between the right to critique public figures and the responsibility of media platforms to avoid spreading misinformation. Musk's lawsuit accuses The View of defamation and slander, alleging that Goldberg and her co-hosts knowingly made false statements intended to tarnish his character and influence public opinion. For Musk, a figure whose public persona is built on his visionary leadership in technology and space exploration, this legal battle is about more than personal vindication. It's about challenging what he perceives as the unchecked power of influential media platforms to shape narratives without accountability. Goldberg's attempt to clarify her remarks has done little to diffuse the situation. She claimed that her comments about someone tripping Trump were inspired by her cat's habit of lying in wait on the stairs, a behavior she humorously dubbed Stair Ninja. While Goldberg insisted that the remarks were never meant to target Musk or encourage harm, critics have dismissed this explanation as an inadequate attempt to sidestep responsibility. Musk's supporters argue that even jokes can have serious implications, especially when broadcast to millions of viewers in an already polarized political climate. Social media has been a hotbed of reactions to the lawsuit, with hashtags like #SupportElon and #CancelTheView trending across platforms. Musk's supporters see his legal action as a necessary stand against misinformation, framing it as a pivotal moment in the fight for media accountability. For these advocates, the lawsuit represents a pushback against a media landscape they believe prioritizes sensationalism and controversy over truth and fairness. Critics, however, caution that Musk's immense wealth and influence could set a troubling precedent, potentially silencing dissent and stifling critical perspectives on powerful individuals. Joe Rogan.
Supposed to be the good guys.
You're supposed to, and you claim to be the good guys? I'm like, exactly.
You're supposed to be the progressives.
Yes, the Dems are like, oh, we're the good guys. We're the honest people.
Controversy. Rogan criticized The View for what he described as blatant hypocrisy and opportunistic narrative shifts. He pointed to past episodes where the hosts warmly welcomed Trump, only to later vilify him during his presidency. They praised Trump when it was convenient, and then they turned on him. Rogan said during a recent podcast episode, "It's not about principles. It's about politics and playing to the audience." Rogan's analysis has resonated with a large audience, further amplifying the conversation and bolstering Musk's argument. Central to Musk's legal case is the claim that Goldberg's remarks not only defamed him, but also incited potential violence. Musk's legal team argues that Goldberg's joke about tripping Trump, while framed as humor, could be interpreted as a call to harm in today's divisive political climate. Critics of Goldberg's comments.
I've been saying it for a while.
Yes, you have.
I've been saying that I think Elon Musk believes he's president. I do.
Well, you've been calling him vice president.
I've called him vice president.
Warning that such remarks, even when intended as jokes, can contribute to a toxic political environment and normalize harmful rhetoric. Beyond the specific allegations against Goldberg, Musk's lawsuit sheds light on broader concerns about media bias and the ethics of public commentary. Critics of The View have long accused the show of promoting politically motivated narratives and prioritizing entertainment over journalistic integrity. Musk's supporters argue that this lawsuit is a wake-up call for legacy media outlets, urging them to reevaluate their practices and adhere to higher standards of accuracy and fairness. Rogan, too, has framed the lawsuit as a necessary intervention, suggesting that it exposes the flaws of a media ecosystem more focused on controlling narratives than informing the public. The controversy has also reignited discussions about the role of free speech in an era of heightened political polarization. While Musk's supporters
But when you have deliberate, concerted, repeated pushing of hoaxes, you're like, wait a second, like, come on, man, this is too far.
And you're supposed
discouraging media outlets from tackling controversial topics or offering critical perspectives on powerful figures. This tension highlights the complex interplay between the right to critique and the need to protect individuals from reputational harm. Goldberg's past comments have only added to the scrutiny. Resurfaced clips of her praising Trump as a friend stand in stark contrast to her recent criticisms, leading Musk's supporters to accuse her of hypocrisy. Rogan also highlighted these inconsistencies, framing them as evidence of a broader trend in media, aligning rhetoric with shifting political currents rather than maintaining consistent principles. One minute they're your best friend, the next they're tearing you down, Rogan remarked. It's all about what serves their agenda at the moment. For The View, the stakes of this lawsuit extend far beyond the immediate controversy. A legal defeat could set a precedent that makes talk shows and commentary platforms more vulnerable to lawsuits over controversial opinions. Critics worry that such a precedent could stifle the spontaneity and candidness that make these programs engaging. Supporters of Musk, however, argue that greater accountability is long overdue, particularly for platforms with significant influence over public opinion. As the lawsuit unfolds, it has become a flashpoint in the broader debate about media responsibility and the ethics of public discourse. It raises critical questions about the balance between holding media figures accountable and preserving the right to free expression. For Musk, the lawsuit is a chance to challenge a system he believes has unfairly targeted him and other high-profile figures. For Goldberg and The View, it's a moment of reckoning that could redefine the boundaries of political commentary in mainstream media. One thing is clear: this legal battle has captured the public's attention and sparked a conversation that extends far beyond the courtroom. Whether Musk's lawsuit ultimately succeeds or not, it has already forced a re-examination of the role of media in shaping public narratives. It challenges both traditional and emerging platforms to prioritize truth and accountability over sensationalism and ratings. In an era where trust in media is increasingly fragile, the stakes of this case could not be higher. As the drama continues to unfold, it serves as a stark reminder of the complexities.
the audience was cheering, and then you actually started winning in the polls.
Likely have far-reaching implications, shaping not only the reputations of those involved, but also the future of media ethics and accountability in an ever-evolving information landscape.